Returning officer
As coalition of results began in Benue State, no one could have predicted the outcome of things. In the meantime, I spoke to freshly elected Senator Orker Jeff, who was successful in taking the seat of veteran and ex-Senator George Akume. What does that victory feel like for you? What does that mean for you?
Well, I'm humble. A lot of people didn't give me any chance to win that seat, considering the present occupant of that seat, and he has been in power for 20 years.
Since the beginning of democracy, it was 8 years. Then after that, he got the senator for, it was considering his position in Benue State, he's seen as a godfather figure. So how were you able to be successful in that? Because some might think, wow, how did you achieve that?
Yeah, people have been asking. I've been asking myself too. But let's come down to the basics. Democracy is about the people. And now that the elections are getting better and better, all you need to do is submit yourself to the people and let them decide. You know, basically the people were asking for a scorecard, and so that they would determine whether he has served them well or not. And I think what has happened is that the people have said, well, whether you served us well or not, it has come for time to step aside for, as it were, younger blood. I think that is the summary of what happened. It's less about me, but more about, a referendum, if you like, on the service that he has rendered to our state for the past 20 years. It couldn't continue forever. There has to come a time when somebody has to step aside, and that is not peculiar to Benue. It's happened elsewhere to where the mighty so-called have fallen. But I don't want to look at it in terms of somebody falling or not. In terms of he has had his time, somebody else should take over the baton from there.
That's definitely a very progressive way to look at it. And now, speaking of all of this, what is your take on all of this, godfather argument issue, this person as a godfather wanting this or wanting that, and, wanting to delegate things a certain way. What is your take on all of that?
Incidentally, even before I joined politics, I've read so much on this godfatherism thing, and I think it's not a positive thing in about the politics, because once a godfather brings you in, he wants to determine whatever happens there. And it's okay to have leaders and or consult them and try to take directions from them. But godfather, no, I don't like that term. I don't like how it operates in Nigeria. And so if indeed they are godfathers, the earlier we get rid of them, the better for our polity.
Now, let's talk about your recent position. Now, of course, you were already in the House of Reps before that. But looking forward, looking to the near future, this is a new chapter. What do you hope to tackle on? What do you hope to take on as you go forth with this position as a senator? What do you hope to accomplish, and what do you hope to get out of it?
Well, let me say this. Basically, whatever the House, House of Representatives as an institution does, the Senate also do it. The only difference is that they screen nominees of the president. That is the only difference in their functions. So I'm not stepping into new territory, as it were. But I'm stepping into a wider horizon, if you like, because as a member of the House of Rep, I'm representing a federal constituency that is comprising of only one local government. So I'm moving to 7.
What are your expectations, observations in how everything's been playing out? Of course, now we're awaiting coalitions, but what do you have to say concerning the whole process and everything?
For reasons I can't explain, the turn-up was low yesterday. And I understand it's not just in my constituency in Buruku, in Benue, right? It's across the nation. I really cannot place my finger on why that is. So maybe security threats, because some people were threatening hell and brimstone on election day. Maybe that's why people decided to stay indoors. I had expected that, considering the position of a governor in a state and the fact that all across the states you'll be having local elections, state assembly elections, people will be excited to come out, and if not for the governor, at least their local representative. But somehow it never got to be so. But apart from that low turnout, I think the elections, at least in my corner, were generally free, fair, and transparent. There are reported cases of violence in Benue State here, and it's unfortunate by all means. Some people would certainly not happy the way presidential and National Assembly elections went, and they wanted to forestall a similar occurrence. I guess that's why you had all these issues of breaches of security around here.
What do you expect in terms of, results for Benue State?
Well, for Benue State, it's a PDP thing. I was in the APC until about a year back, and we all felt, very unhappy with the way they. Yeah, and the fact that the federal government, which was in the same party with us, we felt they never protected us when we were attacked, brutally attacked and murdered like animals. And we felt since the federal government was, even if it's not of the same party, the basic reason for government is security and welfare of the people. And so when you had never in the history, in modern memory, have we had so many Benue people killed the way they have been killed in the last 4 years. So I couldn't bring myself to be in the same camp with people who felt nonchalant, if not culpable, in that kind of setup. So we had to part ways with them. And what I'm saying for myself could as well apply to the generality of the Benue people. They were roundly rejected. In the whole of the last election, the president lost in Benue, and of the 13, of the 15 National Assembly members, that is 11 for 14 actually, 11 for House of Reps and the 3 senators, only one will be going to Abuja on the platform of the APC. And I'm certain that the same pattern will come out in the present election. That is a round rejection of what APC stands for as far as the Benue people are concerned. So that is how I expect things to play out.
And just really briefly, of course, we now know the APC Buhari's administration has won yet another term. What do you hope he changes going into this term? What do you hope that he does that will help be an advantage to Benue State?
One, the president should take the whole nation as his constituency. What one sees, the impression one has, and I think this can be shared across, is that the president gives the impression that he has his own, that he protects. If you don't belong to that, you're on your own, unfortunately so. And so he should be a father to the nation, not a father to his party or to his tribe or to his religion. Unfortunately, that is what some of us, that is how he comes across to some of us. The corruption thing that we've been talking about, you see, the impression that has been created by his conduct, actions or inactions is that if you are not in his party, you are a corrupt person, they'll come after you. But once you leave your party and run to APC, they'll turn the other way and things go on as normal. Let it be wholesome. Who is corrupt, irrespective of the party that he belongs to. So these are the few things that I see. If he corrects, Nigerians across board will begin to embrace him. You can see the lopsided nature of the appointment that he has been making. All of this is worrisome to Nigerians, and so I think he should, correct some of these things, and he will be embraced more. Because whether we like it or not, he has won 4 years, and he's our president. So we'd like to have a president we'll be proud of.
Back at the Coalition Center, things were heating up even before the final announcements were made.
If you take statistically and you look at the turnout for this election has witnessed about 40% turnout from total registered number of voters. And if you look at the number of PVCs collected, out of the about 2.49 million registered voters in Benue, the total number of PVC collections is over 1.8 million. And so if we are looking at the margin of difference, I don't know what statistics or what yardstick INEC is going to use, but I'm arguing that we should limit ourselves to the total number of collected PVCs, information which we don't have at this moment, or perhaps the total number of people who are accredited to cast their votes. And mind you, this whole thing is mixed up. In areas where card readers didn't work and accreditations were done manually, what the rules we have set, particularly by the REC, at the commencement of this process, was that each of the political parties will be scored a 0 in those particular polling units or council wards where elections were held but card readers were not used. So which means that we need to separate those votes where elections were conducted without the use of card reader, which have been voided completely, which means that you cannot resurrect the votes anyway. So when we do the tabulations and we come to the total, perhaps we might even get a figure less than the 64,000 that I'm talking about. I am not privy to the software platform of INEC, which they are using, to compute those figures. But when we get to that point, we'll identify each of the Form ECG 40 for each of the polling unit and each of the wards and each of the local government as collated here, analyze them one by one, and then get the totality of the figures, and then we can conclude this process. But for now, I can say congratulations to myself, congratulations to my governor, congratulations to my party. I know that we have won this election clean and square.
Now, not too long ago at the Coalition Center at INEC headquarters in Benue State, Makurdi, the maximum amount of vote went to Samuel Ortom, the current governor, following by APC's Emmanuel Jime. However, in a surprising turn of events, it was announced that it was declared inconclusive. So now we are hearing from Governor Samuel Ortom in his reaction to this turn of events.
If there's going to be a rerun, we are comfortable. As I talk to you, we have more than 80,000 votes margin against our opponent. And we have won 3 senatorial seats. We have won comfortably 18 members of House of Assembly out of 30. 6 are inconclusive. And we look forward that we're going to win all those ones that have been declared inconclusive. We have won comfortably 6 members of House of Representatives out of 11, and some in the process of declaring them because they were declared inconclusive. And so we are comfortable. You can see that PDP is reigning in Benue State. There is no other political party. We remain calm and peaceful and wait for the date to be announced by INEC so that we'll go back there and exercise our franchise. And I believe that the security agencies in the state will provide adequate security. Now that we're not talking about covering 5,100 polling units, we're talking about just 175. We shall work with the security agencies to ensure that we have a free, fair, and transparent process, that we usher in leaders that will be elected by the people.
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that we note the decision of the electoral body and to accept, to abide by that decision. So as a party, obviously we now have to go back to the drawing board and get ready so we can participate in the runoff coming, I believe, in about 2 weeks or so. I don't know whether a date has been given yet. But surely for our supporters, I think this is a time for us to first remain calm, and to appreciate, the opportunity that has been, afforded, during this period, for us to go back and do the necessary hard work that we have to do, so that we're able to achieve, the success and the victory that we believe is ours.
Well, there you've had it. We've heard words from both Governor Samuel Ortom and APC candidate Emmanuel Jime. Both of them have called for calm in the midst of this uncertainty, I'll say, or adjournment, for lack of a better word. So now we wait to see what indeed is going to happen next. Will there be indeed a runoff in the next couple of weeks? Will there be going to the courts? We'll find out what happens next, and we'll bring you the updates as everything unfolds. In Benue State, Makurdi, Folake Adesugba for Rice News.